Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about another essential healing set, in my opinion. With the changes to trial groups, what you can achieve with um, how everybody can be at critical damage cap, how everybody can be at penetration, resistance, and all that has kind of changed the makeup of what trials teams are doing. In my opinion, I believe the RoJo healer is kind of fading away into a not as optimal build. It's a really hectic build to run, and I believe it's easier to get Major Slayer by putting that on a support DPS in the form of War Machine from Halls of Fabrication, and you can proc that by popping 500 ultimate and giving your group, especially your essential team members, uh, 50 seconds of Major Slayer instead of uh, putting that in the group spot, uh, once every 16 seconds or so, if you can keep that high of an uptime. But this build that I have here is much easier to run. You don't have to do virtually anything specific. You just press your buttons and it will proc your sets. And in particular, as you can see the bubbles floating around my body, this set right here, you literally do not have to do anything at all to proc this. You just put the 5 pieces on your body and it does what it does. This is very similar to Pearlescent Ward. As you can see, the bubbles are similar, and the buff that this gives persists through death, just like Pearlescent Ward. Any of your group members that are within 28 meters of you will get an increase of max magicka by 1,667. Now that might not sound like a lot, but what I envision this set in doing is, because everybody is at crit damage cap, you no longer need to run Warhorn to get the major force buff. Now what Warhorn does is that will give you 10% increased max resources for 30 seconds. So what happens if you're not running Warhorn is you lose out on that extra resources sitting there. Well, what this set gives you is about equivalent to half of that, but it never drops off. So that what this will do in terms of max resources is it will increase your overall group damage by about 1%, is what I've calculated. Warhorn's resources will essentially buff your group damage by about 2%. This is about half of that. Just to give you an idea, most DPS builds are running probably around 32,000 of their max resource. So if you figure out what 5% of that is, it's about 1,600. So that's where I get the percentage of 1% increase of max stats. So, or excuse me, 1% increased damage. So this is a really easy set to run. If you don't have the perfected version, it's not a big deal. It's just an increase of another 1,000 max magicka or so. But this comes from the Lucent Citadel trial. Here, it's the very bottom set. So I see a lot of people suggesting to run this on tank. I don't recommend that, because this is a set you want to always have active and never shut off, and it's a light armor set, so I would suggest not doing that. Put this on a healer. It's got max magicka stats on it. It should be on a healer. Those stats don't help you as a tank. Wear something that's beneficial as a tank, and this can be on your healer for their trial set. This is their source of minor Aegis. If you look at the other trial sets that are available for healers, they're kind of not as optimal. Master Architect is a good set. However, you're giving yourself and 5 people the Major Slayer buff. So it's better to run Major Slayer on a DPS and give a DPS Major Slayer. Sunspire, the healer set out of here is just not that great. You're giving a reduction cost and skills to your team when they hit a synergy. Transformative Hope is nearly impossible to proc because you have to heal somebody that's down 50% up to 90. If you're doing your job, unless you have a mechanic such as like an ice cage or something like that happen, your team shouldn't be dipping below 50% to even proc this very much. Rockgrove has the recovery set Stone Talker's Oath. I've talked about that in previous videos, as well as the synergy set out of Ossian Cage. The Moon Dancer set is something that you gain when you activate a synergy. And then there's the Twilight Remedy set that you heal people when they pop your synergies. That's not real great. Kind's Wind, I wear this on the other healer. Dreadsail Reef, Pillager's Prophet got absolutely gutted in the last update. I would not run that set anymore. It's been absolutely destroyed. You can only give 2% of your ultimate to your group, so now it's a maximum of 50 ultimate once every 45 seconds. So they've absolutely destroyed the power of this set. Cloud Rest has the Olorime set, which is the same as SPC. It's a lot better to run SPC than it is to run Olorime because SPC is mobile. So yeah, there's not a whole lot of trial sets available for healers. So I would suggest having your healer run Xoryn's, have your other healer run Kinds, have your tanks run Lucent Echoes and Pearlescent Ward. Get those buffs in your group, and then you've got everybody buffing your group and everybody wearing a trial set and getting minor Aegis that needs it. This set is really, really a good staple set in my opinion. And it like I said, it makes your build easy. You don't even have to proc it. It's literally just set it and forget it. You don't have to do a thing. It just works. The only thing that about this is you have to be within 28 meters, and you do not want to one bar this. You want to have it active at all times. So if you want to put it on the jewelry because the trial stuff comes in gold, go for that. You can save out on your chromiums that way. But do not put this on one of your weapons so that you bar swap and it turns off. You want this to be on your always active slots at all times. Don't put it on your head or shoulders so you have the option of running the monster set right now. I mean, I would not put this on your body, or excuse me, your weapons so that you bar swap and turn this off. You always want to have this active. But this is a great set to run. Give it a try, put it in your group. It should help things greatly. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.